Okay, greetings from Dublin in Ireland. This is Echo India 5 Echo Mike, Tony here. And in the past, I've built several nested dipoles for the HF bands. But for a friend of mine who's new to the hobby, I decided to build him this nested twin dipole antenna for the 2 meter and 70 centimeter bands. In the video, I'll show the construction and demonstrate the performance. And if you've any questions, you can email me at ei5emtony@gmail.com. That's ei5emtony@gmail.com. And you'll find that email again in the credits at the end of the video. So this is a sketch of the antenna. I think it's self-explanatory, but just note there that the 49 and 16 centimeter dimensions are the dimensions that work for me. And the note there as well about have the initial length of each piece of wire of the coat hanger about 70 centimeters to allow for bending through the connector block, and also for trimming to get down the SWR to an acceptable level. And I monitor that using my Nano VNA, as you'll see later. I cut up an old chopping board in the shape of the letter T to support the antennas, and I attached the coat hanger antenna to the letter T with cable ties, having drilled holes there for the cable ties. You'll see that later on in the video. As you can see, the two halves of the coat hangers were bent in the shape of into a U shape through the connector block, and the dimensions will be approximately or just a few centimeters longer than what was shown in the drawing, the previous drawing. So they were bent, and the short one, or I should say the shorter one, is for the 70 centimeter UHF band, and the longer length for the 2 meter VHF band. I'd recommend about 2 centimeters added to each of my final dimensions as shown in the diagram. So I hope that's clear enough there now. And here now you can see the T-piece with the antennas attached with the green cable ties. The outer one, or the one at the top of the photograph, is the 70 cm shorter antenna, and the lower one there obviously is the 2 meters dipole, and you can see the coax goes into the same connector block. I wound a few turns of the coax around the T-piece just to act as a choke ballon, and then the other end of the coax obviously goes to the radio transceiver. So here's the antenna attached to a door inside my shack, and as you can see it could be a little bit straighter, but not to worry, it works. It works fine. I could probably spend more time straightening it, but remember it's a coat hanger, and it's difficult to get it straight. Of course you could use another material, rod or tubing or whatever, but I'm quite happy with that. I use my Nano VNA to monitor the SWR across the different frequencies. Starting off there with the 2-meter band. Now I did a broad scan first, and you can see that it was the lowest SWR was around 136 megahertz. So obviously the antenna was too long and needed to be trimmed back. So I gradually cut small pieces, identical pieces off both ends of the longer 2-meter antenna as I watched the SWR decrease bit by bit. And when I was satisfied, I didn't want to go too far, but when I got a reasonably good SWR, low SWR, I just called it a day at that, and moved on then to trim the 70 SEMS section. When I was happy with the trimming of the 2-meter antenna, I settled on it's around 1.38 there, which is quite acceptable. I didn't want to go poking around to try and get a lower SWR in case I overdid it and have to start the whole antenna project from scratch. But you can see there across the band it's fairly flat across 144 to 146 megahertz, which is the band in Ireland. So the SWR is around 1.4, which is quite acceptable. So having satisfied myself with that, I then moved on to the 70 centimeter band and did a similar trimming with that. Now for trimming the shorter 70 centimeters antenna. I won't go through all the process, but it was the same as for the 2-meter one. I just kept clipping off bits, equal bits from both sides of the dipole. And you can see there, after the final trim, you can see a broad scan there from 425 to 4, what is it? I can't read it there. It's 444. Well, it's above the band anyway. And you can see there the marker shows the lowest SWR at around 433 megahertz. So I left it at that. That's where most of the Irish repeaters are, around 433. I got the SWR fairly flat across the entire 70 centimeter band, which in Ireland is 430 to 440 megahertz. And as you can see there, the SWR is, I managed to achieve lower on the 70 centimeters band than I did on 2 meters. The 433 megahertz point there, which is shown with the marker, the SWR is almost flat there. And that's the part of the band where most of the Irish repeaters are. So that's quite convenient. So I'm quite happy with the build. It worked out fine. And in the next section, I'm just going to demonstrate the antenna on the 2 bands. I'm testing 1, 2, 3, 4, Echo India 5, Echo Mike. Echo India 7 Lima Hotel. Okay, very good there. I'm just holding a camera here. I'm doing a little video as well. So just built a new antenna there. So I'm not going to hold it there. I have a microphone, a camera, and the rig here perched. So I'm getting through okay. That's the main thing. From Echo India 5, Echo Mike. Testing Echo India 5 Echo Mike EI5EM. Echo India 5 Echo Mike testing.